Hi everyone, I am Mr. Ripa and I'm coming to you as the Assistant Athletic Director at HCC, which is a position that I hold during the fall season and the spring season, and then Mr. Christian takes over for the winter time. My goal today for this video is to explain as much as I can about the modified program and some of the philosophies behind the decisions we make so that you can better understand what you're getting yourself into should you decide to sign up for a modified sport. So modified athletics is just another way of saying middle school athletics. And it's called modified because some of the rules are adjusted for this age level. In Byram Hills, it is open to all 8th graders first, and then depending on signups, we try to offer as many as we can to the 7th grade as well. And the reason we have this 8th grade first and then 7th grade is because in Byram Hills, we have a participation-based philosophy at the middle school level, meaning we want kids to try out as many different sports as possible without the fear of, highly competitive teams that make cuts. And because of that, we have adopted a no-cut policy at the middle school, which means if you are in 8th grade and you want to sign up for a modified sport, you are on the team assuming you can make the commitment. We will not make any cuts based on athletic ability. Now, because we have that philosophy, sometimes in rare circumstances, we have overwhelming roster sizes of just 8th graders. And in those events, we would not be able to open it up to 7th grade. But usually we can open it up to the 7th grade as well. Now, when I said there are no cuts based on athletic ability, there are expectations of commitment. So what are the commitments? Well, there's 3 sports seasons: the fall season, the winter season, and the spring season. And they all offer different sports. The fall season runs from the beginning of school till about the end of October. The winter season is the end of November into February. And then the spring season is the end of March or middle of March to about Memorial Day. Those are general guidelines. And again, each season has different sports. The commitment is typically a 4-day-a-week commitment. Most teams practice after school until about 4 or 4:30 on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Wednesdays are typically the off day because that is teacher meetings day and most of our coaches are teachers. So we just like to, in general, give middle schoolers a day off each week where they can, if they have to have a tutor or, any type of lesson, just anything, that has kind of been our standard procedure. There are no weekends and there are no holidays at the modified level. Occasionally, there will be something scheduled on Wednesday because our games are scheduled by BOCES, not us. And so BOCES doesn't have this no Wednesday rule that we try to have. So sometimes there'll be a game on Wednesday. And also each sport has a minimum practice requirement where each team has to have a minimum number of practices before they're allowed to play in games. And each sport is different. Like football being the most physical sport, they have the largest number of practices required before you're allowed to play in games. So every once in a while, before we've gotten to games, a coach may have to practice on a Wednesday if they don't have a meeting so that we can meet that minimum requirement. So just keep that in mind. So other than that, uniforms and equipment are provided, generally speaking, by the school, and they get returned at the end of the season. To participate, all you have to do is sign up on the participation forms, which go live in the preseason of each season on the Byram Hills website, and we send out email blasts saying the forms are now live. All that means is you fill out your forms agreeing to the code of conduct, the athletic handbook. Obviously, in today's world, the COVID issues, like right now, indoor masking is required. And it also has to have an up-to-date physical on file that must be submitted to the school nurse before you get cleared. If you do not have this form in, you cannot participate until you do. That's pretty much it for modified general information and some of the philosophies of why we do things. If you have any questions in the fall or the spring, I am your go-to person, and email is the best way to contact me. In the wintertime, it would be Mr. Christian. If if you have any questions at this point, feel free to reach out. Go Bobcats.